In the year 2015, two men, Derek Chappell and Victor Frost, began 31 Days of Terminator, wherein they watched the 1984 classic The Terminator every day for a month. This is their story.
Hey, Derek.
Hey, Victor.
So, how about that Terminator movie?
Yeah, it is a movie, and I have watched it one time out of 31.
Yeah, it is December 1st, 2015, and we have embarked upon this mission. We got a mission. Well, I'm not going to say we're on a mission from God, but we're on a mission.
We're on a mission from the future.
From the year, what is it, 2029, right?
Something like
that's
that.
That's what the opening crawl said. Hang on. Yeah, I think that's what the opening thing said.
That seems about right, yeah. Yeah. It's that or 2027. It's one of those.
We are going to be experts in this.
Oh, yeah, at the end of this, we're going to know everything.
We will know everything there is to know about the first Terminator movie, which is not anywhere near as impressive as if we knew everything about all three Terminator movies. Wait, 4? Wait, aren't there 4 now?
5.
5 Terminator movies? Are you shitting me?
I am not shitting on you. It's 1, 2, 3, but we don't talk about 3. Salvation.
Hold up. What's wrong with 3? That's the one with that's the one with the hot liquid metal with the endoskeleton chick, right?
So this is a good time. I have this theory that Terminator is a really, really good illustration of what happens to movies. It is probably the best illustration of what happens to movie franchises.
Oh boy!
Over the course of our blockbuster era. And I think 3 falls into that really awful patch just after The Matrix came out.
Okay, hang on a second. So for those of you who have just stumbled upon this audio file, you've already kind of gleaned the premise about what's going on from that little introductory theme intro sequence thing. But what it is that me and Derek, and this started out as Derek's idea, we are watching the movie The Terminator from 1984 every day of December of the year 2015. And this is a Derek, why?
So I went back and I looked at the thread where I was kind of thinking about watching Terminator every day. And sure enough, it's November 6th when I said that,
yeah.
Which means that I just got finishing a 204-page book. And I went, man, my life is empty.
Writing a book, I should mention, this is Derek not having finished reading a 200 and whatever page long book. This is him finishing writing a 200 some odd page long book.
I actually had a bit of a crisis throughout the month. I forgot what it was like to do anything but edit and revise. So I guess it manifested immediately with me just being man, I gotta do something. What can I do to fill the 12 hours a day I spent staring at text? I could watch Terminator a lot. And I posted it idly in this thread, I'm kind of thinking of doing this. And for some reason, everybody was yeah, do it. Do it.
And for whatever reason, when I saw you post that, to me, it was like a call to action from the universe to do it. I felt like this gigantic push that I need to get in there and I need to get in on this business. And I am immediately regretting it.
Yeah, just after the first watch?
Just after the first watch, because, oh my God, I forgot how much of not an action movie fan I am. Because,
oh wow!
Well, because I have been, because so for a few years ago I got completely burned out on action movies and on really dramatic anime, and I just went completely in the opposite direction. I ran from action movies and I went right straight into like super lighthearted comedies, like K-On! And all that stuff. And then I found, you know what? This is okay. I found my niche. This is fine. But then I saw you post that in the forum, and I'm like, that sounds like a really interesting project, because I got my degree in the cinema and television arts. I like live in media. I have been as they would say, classically schooled in media and in movies. And I thought, wow, that'd be a really great way to gain an insight into this series. I mean, this is an iconic action series. It's like, didn't this movie kick off Arnie's career? It was either this or
well, I mean, I believe he had done Conan before this.
He had done Conan the Barbarian, and
but like this is where his catchphrase came from, and like this established him basically.
Yeah,
as something more than a guy in a weird pair of leather shorts with a sword.
I'm going through this movie, and I can't help but look at the time, look at how long it's going. Like already I'm looking at the playback time, and I'm like, this movie is 1 hour and 47 minutes long. How much longer do I have? How far have I? Okay, I have this much time left. Can I play this at double speed throughout these chases?
No.
Like, can I get through this?
You have to watch the full version.
Can I get through this just a little bit faster? Just a little bit. And I'm already regretting this, but I'm going to stick with it. I will not abandon this quest halfway through. I will stick with this, and we're just gonna have to see. So let's talk a little bit about the movie.
The contrast is interesting here, because I am a person who loves action movies. Well, that's a little bit of weird, because like I'm actually not a big fan of action movies like as a genre entirely. I like certain action movies, and I like certain action movie aesthetics. But like, I think my favorite thing is the conceptual action movie.
The conceptual action movie. What is that?
Well, how I'm defining that is like the action movie plus like a high concept that is very interesting, engaging, and adds a big twist to it. Like I'm
like
not a big fan.
Minority Report.
Yeah, Minority Report, or the original Matrix, or a lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger's sort of like late 80s, early 90s output, like Total Recall.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Total Recall's one of my actual favorite movies is Total Recall, Predator, and I like to lump Commando in there with the idea that I think Commando is self-aware. Like I go back and forth on that. Like sometimes I watch it and I go, this movie has no idea. But other times I watch it and go, no, they know exactly what they're doing.
Oh, but here's the thing. But the Terminator, it has a premise, but I don't think it has a high concept. It is literally one long chase scene. That is all it is. About a minute of sex towards the end.
See, than that, that's where it gets really interesting. When I watch the Terminator, I don't think it's an action movie. I think it's a horror movie.
A horror? Okay, yeah. You know what? Thematically, in terms of how it's set up, I think you might be onto something. I think it does fit a little bit better into the horror movie genre than an action movie, because you do have this seemingly unstoppable antagonist chasing after people.
I also think it's a really good movie in its ability to establish a lot of information in like relatively the background, not really the background, but it doesn't have a great deal of exposition, and it actually saves most of its exposition for the middle and end.
It does.
It does, like, some of my favorite details in the very beginning. I had this in my notes, but, like, you know, watching it again, I was like, oh yeah, I remember all these things. Like, the reason I love this movie. The first, like, 20 minutes of this movie are basically Kyle Reese and the Terminator doing the same actions.
Yeah, I noticed
over and
that
over.
too. I thought that was really cool.
But it shows how much more difficulty Kyle Reese has with all of them, and in doing so sets the stakes for the movie without ever having to say anything. They don't have to tell you how powerful the Terminator is. They don't have to shoot him in the first 5 minutes to show you it doesn't work. They don't have to do any of that. They just show you how much Reese struggles in comparison.
Yeah, I mean, just their entrances alone. Terminator goes, and he stands right up. He's perfectly okay. Which I did write a little bit of a note about that. First of all, being a Los Angelino myself, when the Terminator stood up, I immediately identified exactly where he was before they even pulled out to the establishing shot of the Griffith Observatory. I knew he was at the Griffith Observatory because I've been there several times, and I know for a fact that where that garbage truck was, there are no dumpsters there. I don't even know how they fit a dumpster. I don't even know how they fit a garbage truck there in the first place. There is not enough room in there. And I see that, I'm like, really? Am I misremembering the Griffith Observatory? But I'm just like, what was the Griffith Observatory in Hollywood movies is when you want to establish that you are in Hollywood, that you are in Los Angeles, there are two things you can show in an establishing shot. One is the Hollywood sign. Well, three things. One is the Hollywood sign. The second one is a city with palm trees, and the third one is a flyover of the Griffith Observatory, and then like a whole bunch of city behind it.
Yeah,
and that whole thing just put me off. That why is that there? And you know what? It's doubly so because I was just telling someone the other day, because I play a lot of Grand Theft Auto 5, and Los Santos is essentially a carbon copy of Los Angeles. I can navigate Los Santos just from my knowledge of Los Angeles. and there is a Griffith Observatory there. And I'm just wondering, why is Griffith Observatory such this focal point of Los Angeles? But because it gives you a whole cityscape when you look out. Yeah, it does. But if you don't know the cityscape and you don't see any palm trees in there, you don't know that's Los Angeles. It could be Philadelphia
It doesn't have to establish, like, that shot where he stands up and he looks out and he looks over the city. It doesn't really have to do with it being in Los Angeles, because we get tons of that anyway.
Right.
It is like an establishment of, well, probably the relationship between the character and the city. But like, he is looming large over the city.
Why did I bring that up? Oh yeah, that's right. So it shows him just going wow, just in there, and he just stands right up. And then it shows Reese just basically just like completely just struggling.
Well, he does like an 8-foot drop.
Yeah, he does have that. Which tells me the human's aim is less exciting, is less than stellar, in terms of placing the end point of that portal.
One of the best parts about
and
that
second,
whole
hold on a
scene,
second. If there's nothing dead can come through, because he made a point of saying this, nothing dead can come through. How does he have hair?
Don't think about that part.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't think about that. We have to think about everything else in the movie. We're going to have to watch this for 31 days. And
okay.
I'm going to be thinking about this. It's going to come up in my brain every time. Why does he have hair? Why isn't he just a naked baby man?
Naked baby. It actually would have been pretty cool if they committed to that and people had gone, yeah, that would have been neat.
Did you notice that the Terminator lost his eyebrows about a third of the way through?
No, I didn't.
He goes through. Reese shoots at this car in the alley and it explodes, and there's all this fire and stuff. And before then, Arnie had eyebrows, And after Arnie walks through this flame, he doesn't have eyebrows anymore.
Oh boy. Okay, I will pay attention to that one tomorrow.
I noticed that really quickly. I'm like, wait a minute, he doesn't have eyebrows anymore.
Something that's really cool about that scene, like just after Kyle Reese jumps in and the evading that he does versus like what Arnie does. Like, notice the first thing Arnie does is he finds a group of people and he beats the shit out of them, right?
Oh, he doesn't just beat the shit out of him. He
punches
right
a dude's spine out. Yeah,
basically. And it's just, I was like, whoa, okay then. Well, if you want to establish authority, you want to, that is a good way of doing it.
Well, I think it establishes something a little bit more than that, because contrast with what Kyle does, he spends the next couple of scenes running away, not from people, but from cars with searchlights.
Yeah, no. And I think it was just that he had this really good PTSD moment in the car near the construction area.
Yeah.
And you get that whole experience. Like, he sees the construction equipment, and he's like, you can tell he just kind of focuses on the treads of that crane or whatever, the auger machine.
Yeah.
He sees the treads, and you see the treads, and then it turns from the treads of the auger machine into the treads of those hunter killers. And just, I love the fact that they have that whole scene, because first of all, big props to the people who made the models.
Those things are really cool.
Those models are amazing, and the little skulls that just go pop, 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 pop. Just the fact that those models, and I looked at it and I saw when the flying thing came into the opening sequence, I'm like, oh, that is a model. That is a very good model. That is so cool. I miss the use of models. I miss practical effects in movies.
Yeah. I like, one of the things that kind of weird is that practical effects like that they're still more common than we realize, but I think people have gotten worse at compositing them a lot of the time. So we often can't tell, and we chalk it up to bad CGI. So probably because, if nothing else, like when you actually put everything down on a plate and you photograph everything, like, if it's bad, if the model's badly done or was badly shot or the lighting is off, we'll notice that. But everything looks right in the frame together because it's still analog. But I think early on, when they were compositing models but with digital techniques, it got really bad results.
Oh, yeah. Like the like the stop motion of the full, if you know anything about the behind the scenes of the Terminator, they had like this Terminator like torso that a guy would literally wear on his shoulders. But in the scene where they're going through, I guess that manufacturing factory,
there's really rough shot in there.
Yeah, and it's just like it's very Jason and the Argonauts kind of feel of the stop motion. He's just sort of like, it's very herky jerky kind of motion.
Do you know why that shot is so bad and why the model work there is not as great as it is in the rest of the movie?
I don't know why. Why is that?
It's awesome. So they ordered a prop Terminator for the final scenes of the movie, right?
Sure.
And they said it's like a 200-pound metal skeleton of steel, and we need it in aluminum. And that part didn't get through to the people who made the prop. So they actually got a full steel skeleton that they had to figure out how to work with on set. So it weighed like a ton.
Oh, jeez.
You just had to deal with it.
Ugh. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ay. So, there is a lot of questions that the first thing that I had, and I wrote this question down, was, when he's sort of, when Reese is appearing in the alley. Okay, so when the Terminator appears, you have the truck driver there who sees this guy walking around. He's naked. He can call the cops. I get that. He's got a radio in his truck. He can call the cops to take care of the dudes that the Terminator turned into potato mash in that bus stop there at the telescope at the Griffith. But when Reese showed up, there was a cop there in like a minute. Which I couldn't get a cop to come over to me in a minute. If I told them that I was holding someone at gunpoint, they wouldn't show up in a minute. It would take at least 2 or 3. And it just, I'm wondering, and these cops showed up just at the perfect time to catch Reese stealing the pants from that homeless dude.
Yeah. That was pretty great. It doesn't make much sense, does it?
No.
That's going to bug me.
It doesn't. It doesn't make much sense. And I
guess the reason is the big flashy lights show going off in the middle of downtown LA.
Okay, can I just stress that this is Los Angeles?
Yeah, I was about to say downtown LA in the 80s, you could probably set a bomb off and it would take half an hour.
Yeah, you could. Do you remember the scene?
Check.
Do you remember the scene? Have you ever watched Last Action Hero?
Yes.
Do you remember the villain guy, how he goes to a garage and he shoots a guy and he says, "I've just shot a man. Somebody call the police. I murdered this man in cold blood," and nothing.
Yep. Yeah.
That is the level of lack of response that can reasonably happen in Los Angeles for the kind of light show that went off when Reese made his appearance. I'm not seeing a reason why the cops were called. And then they were called in force? Like, why were they chasing after this dude? Yeah, the dude stole a homeless dude's pants, but a dude stole a homeless dude's pants. So it's like not to be so nonchalant of the plight of that homeless dude, but and then like it turns from one squad car to 2 to 8 and then you have these cops swarming into this like department store type deal, and I am not seeing that. It's just
yeah. So I think the reason that happened is that in the original shooting script of the Terminator, there was a second dude, and he ended up like embedded in something, and there was more time in between Kyle arriving and the police showing up, where presumably something would have happened. But I believe they I think he's in the novelization. Like Kyle Reese is like, yeah, there was another guy. I found him halfway in the asphalt.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
one's landed too high, the other's landed too low.
So I think that's why that sort of like the reason the police arrive and go after him is probably an artifact of the script.
Speaking of artifacts, how about that Nike product placement?
Yeah, that was really obvious.
That was
I giggled a little.
That was funny. Not as that didn't stand out quite as much as the as Sarah's roommate's very 80s-tastic hair.
Yeah, no, that was like the 80s-est hair.
I gotta tell you, I miss 80s hairstyles. Those were great. Well, women's hairstyles anyways. I haven't really taken too much note of men's hairstyles. Haven't changed too much over time. Having a perm as a man is now a little less acceptable. But
I just miss when all action heroes had headbands.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I noticed that in the picture that Reese pulled out. Like, oh yeah, she's got this cool bandana thing going on. I'm like, oh, that was an 80s thing, isn't it? And then at the end of the movie, yep, she's got a bandana on. And
Kyle Reese has
dog.
one during the first Future War scene. He has a bandana as well.
Can we talk about Kyle's entire reason for going back in time, for volunteering for this? Can we just acknowledge the fact that he literally fell in love with a picture and an idea about the woman who he has never met, who has never met previously? He fell in love with the idea of her and literally went back in time to save the woman that he very creepily fell in love with from a really old-ass picture.
Yeah, it is weird, But I mean, the dude does live in the horrifying post-nuclear apocalypse. Like, if that's the weirdest shit that he carried back,
okay, you know what?
He's doing all right.
That is still pretty freaking weird. I mean, as soon as he said, I'm like, oh, he had that picture. You know, it's cool. You know, he had that picture of her because I mean, when I first saw that picture, I just assumed, oh, John gave him that picture so that, you know, he would be able to identify her. So he would learn her face and be able to very quickly identify her when he goes back in the past. And then I find out, oh, he volunteered. Oh, he loves her. He's been obsessing about her for the longest time, to the exclusion of loving any other girl. Are we sure this guy's the protagonist here? What's going on?
Well, I mean, Sarah's the protagonist.
Well, he is the co-protagonist. He is her enabler.
Yeah.
That is so weird. And then just boom. I mean, one night of sex, and then boom, baby. Just like,
well, that's destiny. That's like time fate.
I don't know. He like that whole scene just made him a lot more creepy than me. I'm just like, oh, so he's just like a really he's a fanboy who got to live out his fantasy. That's what happened here. That is exactly what happened.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, he's a.
You know what this is like? This is like me going back in time and banging Audrey Hepburn. That's what this is like.
I was just about to mention something about his his 2029 Sarah Connor fan blog. He has all the merch. He has a hug pillow.
John Connor stumbles into his bunk on a random night before he's had a chance to clean up all this stuff, and John just backs away slowly. Yeah,
it's exactly the Grandpa Simpson gif. Just
Oh, jeez. On what's left, throughout all of the apocalypse and all that stuff and all the computer networks, Tumblr will survive.
Oh, undoubtedly.
I feel like, oh my OMG, guys, Sarah Connor, she's just like the greatest woman ever. I loves her so much. I totes want to marry her. Lulz, yes. OMGs, signed.
Does anyone else find Skynet problematic?
Signed, Sarah
so John
Connor.
Connor got it all together.
Sarah Connor fanboy. That's spelled BOI.
Oh, definitely.
782.
782. No, it's whatever his serial number is, which we will have memorized by the end of this.
Did you even see? Because all I saw was the barcode. Oh no, because he says it, doesn't he?
He says his serial number when he's under police interrogation.
Oh my god! And he says it when he introduces himself to her too.
Yes, he does.
Oh boy.
I still wonder what TechCom is.
I don't know. There's probably an entire Wikipedia article dedicated to it.
Yeah.
I am not going to look for that.
Well, I am.
Derek, why? I don't even know what to say about this. This is just going to be... This is us having watched the movie once. Yeah, and it's going to be... It's going to be a good time. Oh, goodness gracious. Ay. All right. Well,
we should probably call this particular podcast at this half-hour mark here.
Yeah, because that's where we are. We're at a half-hour mark.
More or less. I started recording a couple seconds before we probably started.
Give or take. So listeners, this audio post will be coming out every Tuesday evening.
Your time. It's
my time.
Wednesday morning for me.
Oh, come on. It's still Tuesday. It's still Tuesday evening. I mean, who says, oh, wow, it's a wonderful Tuesday evening, then looks at their watch, 11:59:59, 00000. Oh, well, I should say Wednesday morning. No, it's still Tuesday night.
Guess.
Are you only a Terminator would do that? Do I need to have a dog?
Only a Terminator would be so precise. Yes.
I like. We'll get into what my thoughts about the Terminator's dialogue tree next time.
Oh my god. I wish I had that exact dialogue tree in Mass Effect. Just end all encounters. Fuck you, asshole.
All right. Well, all right, everybody. Well, we will catch you next time. And day 1 of 31 Days of Terminator has come to a close.
But don't worry, we'll be back.
Oh, God fucking damn it.